Hey guys, probably tell it's a different day now, but got the back siding done on the back porch. I don't know if I'm gonna include that in this video or do a separate video, but either way, got the back siding done on the porch and around the door. Got the front door installed yesterday, and now I've got to continue. It's kind of a mess out here, and then the bottom trim, I got to bring it over to where it's level, that trim, and then this bottom trim over here, bring it over where it's level. Then once I do that and get the bottom trim done, then I can do my J trim around the edges of the door. Then once I get that done, hopefully I'll be able to start doing more of the siding coming this way with it. But I've got a few pieces of trim up here I got to do on the top and on the side porch over here, but we can do those when we get to it. Alright, well I got the base trim on and then the J trim around the doors done. Turned out pretty good. But this is how I was kind of talking about how that top, the piece running up, do it flush to the bottom of that top piece coming over. And then I just leave it, well, it's not gonna focus, but I leave it coming out that way. If this was ever not covered or anything, or ever got water there, when you put your metal up, it'll run out past where your kind of seam is, and then it'll fall over. But like I said, I'll come back most likely and put a little bead of sealant in that crack and stuff. Like I said, most of my windows and doors on this house are all covered and stuff, so it's not really a whole lot to worry about. But this is how I've done it on our old house. Never had a problem with it leaking or anything like that. Let's see if I got one of these windows I can kind of show. See, that's kind of what it looks like once you put the metal on there. If you do it right, do your measurements right, it's very minimal like crease. And like I said, you can come back and put a little bit of sealant in there and it'll be fine. But this next piece is going to be it's going to be interesting, because you got to have that measurement cut out, and it's going to come out past that window a little bit, and then down, and then out past that. Well, obviously, I did not make it back out here last night after going and eating dinner and putting the kids to bed. That's here or there, but it's the next day after work. It's about 6:30 in the evening, but tonight we're going to try to continue doing what I was supposed to do last night, but I didn't do. way longer than it should have, but I got 3 pieces up there in an hour and a half. But that one piece took a little while just because of so many things to trim around and stuff. Then that second piece, I should have been relatively easy, but I messed up on it. But you know, we won't talk about that. But that's what the end result looks like. Could have been better, but you know, you're gonna say that about everything you do. I always could have been better, but got that done. Got that angle going up. But what it was, I kind of forgot, but remembered. This is gonna have a transition trim piece at, I think it's like 10 foot 6 inches. It looks sort of like this one over here. That transition piece, like I said, it'll do that, and then it'll go up to the rest of the gable, up to the top. But I think what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and get the bottom metal done across and around here. That way I can go finish it out. Then that'll leave just that piece there. Then I can go ahead and do this metal and do it all to that 10 foot 6, because I'm gonna end up putting that transition trim piece just a little bit higher. And I'm contemplating, the one they sent me for the front, it's just my fault, I kind of forgot about it. Luckily they did send me a piece. But it's only about, it's an inch like wide, whereas the pieces I used on that side, on the sides, I think they're 3 inches deep, and I kind of like that look. I like that like you have like a board up there. I kind of like that look, so I may just go ahead and do the bottom piece around and then finish it out and have just this last triangle like on the gable part. I may, because I got to order a few custom corner trims because I messed up on those measurements, and I'm gonna have to get some custom trim made. But I'm thinking I may, when I do that, since I got to order that anyways, I may go ahead and order that wider transition metal like I did on the sides. That way it matches, and like I said, I kind of like it better. I like that thicker trim going through right there. I'm thinking I may do that because I can come back and finish that later after I get that trim back in and stuff like that. But well, it's about 7:30 now, and I'm gonna take a break from this and go eat some dinner and hang out with the kids and the family for a minute, and the wife, and get something to eat. And I will be back out here later. I'm gonna be back out here. I'm not doing it 2 nights in a row. I'll be back out here later, and we'll get back to work on this. Well, I made it back. Changed shirts, but I made it back. So, all right, I think I've decided, while I was eating, I've decided that I'm gonna get that thicker trim piece for the brake. So I'm gonna go ahead and I can still go ahead and do the metal here. as much done as I can tonight. Let's see. About 10:30. Call it quits for the evening, but I got a decent bit done. I was hoping to get more done, but I gotta continue this over. I need to go and put up some trim so I can finish that out. Yep. Here, I'll let y'all actually see kind of about well, let's look close up. This is the kind of, it's not great, but I don't have one of the high dollar benders, but on the back side of these trims, I try to bend that metal to match kind of like this. One, it helps for water getting in there, and two, I think it looks better. Like on this side, it just so happened that the rib was there, so I didn't have to bend that one. All right, so good news and bad news. Bad news, I didn't film yesterday evening. One, really just didn't feel the best, and kind of just wanted to get out here and get a little bit done while I could, while I was trying to feel a little better. Two, the good news is I came and finished out the trim around the gable up top, and finished out the rest of this down the rest of the porch. So, good part about that is now I got all that done, we can continue the metal, and I ain't gotta worry about getting that done. Got a little bit down here, gotta do once we get to it. I didn't do it last night, but it'll be the trim that goes around that 8x8 post. My side porch here, I gotta get I need to get some black J trim made to go up here and on this side, because this ceiling will be a black metal ceiling, but the back porch, it'll end up being most likely it's going to end up being stained tongue and groove. And I don't know if I've shared this or not, but the front porch, it will be the center section here, this big, the pitched roof. It will end up being all this up here and down. That's going to end up being most likely stained tongue and groove. And then the little side porches here, like here and that one over there, that's actually the metal for it, but it will be black metal too.